Magandang araw, mabuhay! We are the students of BSHM1 Block 3, and for today's discussion, we will be talking about flexibility. Let me do the honor of introducing our reporters and the topics that they will discuss for today. First, me, Kim Hart Ibib. My topics are flexibility, recommendations, and reminders. And for our second reporter, we have Diana Jennifer Gugma, and her topics are factors that determine your flexibility and activities that enhances one's flexibility. Last but definitely not the least, we have Joan Heredero. Her topics are other guidelines to follow and things to remember. And here is our table of contents. Listed here are the topics that we will be discussing for today. First, we have flexibility. Second, recommendations. Third, reminders. Fourth, factors that determine your flexibility. Fifth, types of activities that enhances one's flexibility. Six, other guidelines to follow. And 7, things to remember. So, what is flexibility? Flexibility is the degree to which an individual muscle will lengthen. In other words, how well you can stretch. Flexibility is important for injury prevention. Being flexible also helps your muscles to recover from exercise quickly. Having a full range of motion improves performances in other areas of fitness. Kapag flexible ka, mas maiiwasan mo yung injury and nakakatulong rin siya para mapabilis yung pag-recover ng muscle mo kapag nag-exercise ka. What recommendations are given by the Fitt principles for flexibility training? For frequency, kahit 3 beses sa isang linggo ka mag-stretch, lahat ng major muscles and ng joints ng body mo. For intensity naman, kung gaano ka-intense yung gagawin mong stretch, you can stretch until you feel discomfort or hindi ka na komportable, pero not to that extent na masasaktan ka na or you will feel pain or you will get hurt. For time, yung kada stretch mo, kailangan kaya mo siya for at least 10 seconds lang or pwede mo rin naman siyang gawin ng paulit-ulit. For type, dapat meron kang i-stretch na muscles sa upper body mo, then meron din dapat sa lower body mo. Reminders. First, use correct stretching techniques. Ask your teacher or knowledgeable adult if you're not sure. So, do not much rely on yourself. Always ask advice dun sa mga taong may alam kung paano nga ba yung proper stretching na yan para hindi ka masaktan, para walang mangyaring hindi inaasahan. Second, always do a brief warm-up before stretching, like a light walk, jog, or even skipping. Your muscles should be warm when you stretch them. So, bago mo gawin yung stretching na yan, kailangan mo munang gumawa ng iba pang mga bagay, like yung light walk nga, mag-jog ka, or mag-skip ka, kasi yung muscles mo, before ka mag-stretch, dapat warm sila. Third, kapag nag-stretch ka, dapat mabagal lang and dapat yung paraan mo ng pag-stretch is relax lang. Then, move smoothly. Do not bounce back or jerk when you are stretching. Fourth, stretch to the point of tightness but don't push beyond that. Please avoid extreme discomfort. As I mentioned earlier, you can feel discomfort when you stretch, pero not to that extent na masasaktan ka na. Hindi yung sobra-sobrang discomfort. Kaunting discomfort lang. Hindi ka dapat masaktan ng sobra-sobra when you stretch. Fifth, breathe normally when stretching. Don't hold your breath. So basically, one of the common mistakes na ginagawa ng mga tao when they stretch or even when they exercise is hindi sila humihinga. Hinohold lang nila yung breath nila, which is a big no when it comes to stretching and exercising. So, always remember na dapat huminga ka ng maayos. Huwag mong pigilan yan, ilabas mo, mag-inhale, exhale ka whenever you stretch or exercise.
Factors that determine your flexibility. There are a number of different factors that may contribute to why some people are more flexible than others. One's flexibility is based upon the following uncontrollable factors. Genetics. Genetics counts for a large part of determining our flexibility. It is also known to play a role in flexibility levels. It can increase or decrease flexibility and may make you more susceptible to injuries. The reasons why some people are naturally more flexible than others is that because we don't have much impact on the shape of the bones. Our bodies are unique in many ways, and our skeletons are no exception. For example, some of us have a much deeper hip socket than others, while others have a shallower socket, allowing this joint to be more flexible. You can learn it by practicing certain forms of exercise, keeping body hydrated, and staying relaxed can improve flexibility. Second one is gender. Females are generally more flexible than male. The reasons why females are more flexible than males is that because females are typically more naturally flexible than male, partly due to the genetic and biological makeup of their connective tissues. Also, females typically focus on activities that require more flexibility, such as stretching, yoga, dancing, pilates, tai chi, and some swimming strokes. The third one and the last one is age. Flexibility naturally decreases as we get older because when our bodies get older, we also lose a small amount of flexibility. There is a study in year 2013 from the Journal of Aging Research. According to them, men and women will experience a decrease in flexibility of the shoulder and hip joints by approximately 6 degrees per decade between the ages of 55 to 86. Remember, it's never too late to become flexible because we can learn to be flexible at any age, but it does get more difficult with age. As we get older, our tendons become more rigid and the muscles and joints that allow for easy mobility become stiff. But no matter what uncontrollable factors an individual face, they can improve his or her flexibility through a regular flexibility training program. The following are the activities that enhances one's flexibility. The first one is stretching. It is a form of exercise that can lead to an increase in flexibility. It is recommended to do a dynamic stretching before a workout and static stretching after a workout. Dynamic stretching, or known as warm-up stretching. Examples are squat, high knees, arm circles, jumping jacks, boot kicks, and hip circles. Static stretching, or known as cool-down stretching. Examples are shoulder stretch, toe touch, butterfly stretch, cobra stretch, and knee to chest. The second one is yoga. Yoga improves strength, balance, and flexibility. Slow actions and deep respiration grow blood go with the drift and heat up muscle. Even as maintaining a pose can construct strength, they permit you to pass higher and sense much less stiff or tired at any stage of yoga. You will probably begin to be aware to the results soon. The third one is Pilates. Pilates stabilizes and strengthens major muscles correctly and emphasizes neutral postural alignment. It focuses on the movements while stretching. This means that the muscles warm up as you stretch. It allows you to stretch further with less pain. The more flexible you are, the less strain you will experience. The fourth one is Tai Chi. It helps to improve muscle strength and flexibility, which makes it easier to recover from stumble function, the sensory neurons in the inner ear, and stretch receptors in the muscles and ligaments. It also helps to reduce stress, improve moods, promotes weight loss, and better sleep. The fifth one is some types of dance. It helps to improve flexibility by continuously performing movements that will test the body range of motion. And it is through repeating these difficult movements that you will increase your range of motion. It improves body agility, coordination, and balance, and also strengthens muscles that often get left in the corner of the party, like your abdominals. The last one is some swimming strokes. Swimming improves flexibility because the range of motion involved in swimming stretches muscles in a way that can make your joints more flexible and aid in recovery. Unlike yoga and Pilates, it will not effectively stretch you.
Static stretching, also known as holding stretch. This is more effective in the most appropriate way to stretch. For example, bending over and touching my toes is a static stretch. To make this stretch dynamic, I can start bending and strengthening my knees while staying bent over. In static stretching involves holding a position for 30 seconds or longer, whereas dynamic stretching involves movement. And other guidelines to follow is ballistic stretching, also known as bouncing on a stretch, can actually cause the muscle to tighten up rather than relax, and the stretching there is more risk for injury. Whereas static stretch are performed slowly and gradually, the ballistic method stretch muscle much farther and faster. You can do many of the same stretches as ballistic or static stretch. For example, touching your toes would be to bounce and jerk toward your feet. Something to remember doing that enhances one's flexibility. It will improve your postures doing flexibility exercises or rather activities. It helps you to release the muscle tensions. It will reduce soreness, decrease risk of injury, and increase relaxation. Be sure a muscle is warm before you stretch. Be sure to breathe through your stretch. Exhale as you initially stretch and don't hold your breath. Stretching muscles when they are cold or pushing too hard can lead to muscle pulls and injury. And it will increase your range of motions. These are the something to remember while doing some flexibility activities.